All right. Back with episode, it's not really episode, it's kind of a community call. Back with community call number 25. My man Paolo Perry is back. And today, this conversation is probably one you haven't necessarily thought about, but it is critical. I've heard it a couple times before in the community, talking to different people, but what made me say, hey, listen, we have to have this conversation is sitting with this man. We weren't really sitting. We were running around like crazy, but being with this guy in person and seeing him work. You know, he talks to me, we talk all the time, text back and forth. You know, I've went down to his state and did some RA with him. He's like, Omar, you gotta connect with the managers. I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. Not like throwing him off or, ignoring him, but I just didn't get it until he came up to New Jersey a couple of weeks ago. And I'll stop just for a second and talk about that. He came up to Jersey and we had an epic RA weekend. He came up for what he called a vacation, but there was a lot of work happening. And we put together a group from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. Everybody came together and we did basically like through a 3-part sourcing trip. Him and Sarah got together along with Erica, who came out from New York. They did some sourcing. I had to pick up my kids from camp, so I missed that part. But I saw some of the bags. They look kind of crazy. And they picked up some of the stuff that I told them about in Gap. I saw that. And then we got together, and this is where it happened later at night. You know, Paolo and Erica had just got done with dinner. And I just got done at the bowling league, and we connected at Walmart. We didn't buy one item. We were looking too, because we were looking for clearance TVs, all other stuff, Fugglers and Squishmallows. But the thing that was most important about that trip to Walmart was that Paolo connected with one of the employees who put us in contact with the manager. And that, within itself was not a big deal. But what Paolo showed me on his phone blew my mind. So Paolo comes over to me. He's like, hey, look, Omar, look at this. And I'm like, how did you get that? And what Paolo showed me was a screenshot of the employees. I don't know if it was his phone or the Bluetooth device he had, but he was showing me how many of this product was being ordered in the next week or two. And I'm like, dude, you talk to this guy for 30 seconds. I don't understand. He's like, oh, you got it. Here's the name of the section manager. Here's the name of the store manager. He only works in the morning. Oh, what's this guy's name? Oh, I don't know. Let me go find out. I'm like, dude, this was crazy. And the best part about it is Paolo uses the same strategy in his Walmarts by him, and he's got 3 by him, but his Walmarts don't have nearly the amount of product that mine does. And so, actually, we were talking about this before we got on a call. I've been stalking his manager for the last 3 days, and I was going to go today, but I lost my wallet. Luckily, I found it. So I'm going to go tomorrow. But here's the thing. If I'm able to get in with this guy, they got way more product than I can handle, but Paolo, he's crushing it. So obviously, I'm going to be sharing that product with him. And then just to close out the weekend, so we ended up getting together with 6 other people, actually 5 other people with me and Paolo. We were in grocery outlet, 7 people deep, all with carts, blocking the aisles. The manager is there. Luckily, the manager was cool. We had met her the night before. So she was like, hey, come on in, guys. But I'd never seen anything like that before. 7 people in a grocery outlet, all sourcing. We sourced the whole store. And then we ended up going to 6 stores. It was absolutely nuts. So, I got to shout out to Paolo for that. But the reason why we're here is I really want to talk to him about what he is able to do with managers. First of all, I want to talk to you, before we even talk about the how, talk to me from your perspective about why it's important for people like us to build relationships with these store managers.
Yeah. For me, it's super important to build a relationship with another. Doesn't matter if they are managers or doesn't matter if they are coworkers or workers, because they can help you to see, for example, if you want one product and sometimes you didn't find it. You can do this in any store. I do this in Walmart. I do in Ross, Marshall, Burlington too. And basically, imagine, like sometimes Walmart is a little bit disorganized. You cannot find the item. But if you talk with any worker and you say, hey, could you help me with this? They tell you, yeah, we have this in stock. We don't have this in stock, because they already have the SKU number and they already have the apps or the software that we don't have the software to see how many quantities they have right now in the store. So it's too important for us, because we are sellers, to see, if we go to one store to see this product in specifically, we have to see how many items we can get it, right? So for me, it's too much. It's too important, because the first time I remember when I did this relationship, because I used to went to different stores and just go grab the product that I want and leave. But since I know this method, like basically I talk with any worker and I say, hey, I just try to say, hey, you know what, like I'm super interested in this product, please could you help me, or could you see when it's gonna arrive the next order? And they sometimes, some of them, they say, yes, I can help you with that. Or some of them say, okay, let me connect you with my manager, and then you will see what's going on. So when I met with a manager from Walmart, it was in my gym. It was kind of funny, because one time he told me, hey, what do you do for a living? And I said, like, yeah, I'm a seller. And he said, like, oh, wonderful, because I'm a manager in Walmart. And I say, oh, that's super nice. So probably I can meet you in Walmart and I can get some products from your store. And he said, yeah, come to my store and we will see. So the first time when I went, it was like a funny history, because I didn't see him, but I saw like another work and I said, hey, could you help me with this product? He basically showed me, it was in Walmart. He basically showed me, say, okay, I have these products, because he basically scanned the SKU and it popped up in his app, in his software that he used, how many quantities are and how many quantities is coming and what is exactly the date that is going to come. And then he said, like, he showed me that. So after that, I knew this. I say, okay, I mean, it's gonna be important if I talk with a manager, because manager probably can help me order more quantities if I want, right? And then I was talking with a manager, and he said, like, yeah, we can help you with that, because you gotta think in that if you as a seller, you need these products and you will buy in bulk if that product moves, right? But it's like a win-win, because you win getting the products, and the stores and the managers win too, because basically they get bonuses every month for the sales that they have. So now imagine if you move like any amount of money, for them it's like a help, because now he got more sales in that store. So that's what I say, like, it's super important, because you can get multiple orders and they can help you. You don't have to go to Walmart to see if the product is. You just send a message to any worker that you have the connection, or the manager, and he say, like, oh, yeah, we have the product, or yeah, we already reserved the product for you, so you just come and get it. And sometimes it's really cool, because some of managers, they told me, like, oh, you know what, now you got a parking lot like near to the door, just for pick it up, just come pick it up. And basically I just go to Apple Pay or with my car, and basically some of the workers put the stuff in my car, so I don't have to just go. So it's like super. It's kind of like the business goes super smooth, and I really like it.
And so I guess, I know we can do this anywhere, like Ross or Nike or
Yes.
whatever, and it works differently, obviously, at different places. But I guess it's where I saw you do it and where I know you do it often is at Walmart. And so, like, I guess Walmart, depending on who you're connecting with, doesn't have an issue with resellers. I know you would never be able to do this in Target, because
No, yeah.
but at Walmart it's all right.
But listen, so that's the thing. Always when I approach, I never say I'm a reseller.
Okay.
When I met with my friend, because basically he asked me, and I didn't know he is a manager in Walmart, right? Because I know, like, some places, like for example Target, they don't like resellers. But that's the trick. If you don't have to tell, in that case, if you know like they don't accept resellers, because the managers will say no,
Yep.
but you can talk with with a worker. And I say, hey, I'm looking for this product. And he said, like, yeah, we have. But how about if you have made a connection? He doesn't wanna, I mean, he doesn't do nothing wrong, because he said like, oh yeah, we have this product in stock. But in your mind, you say, okay, I will go and get everything, all of them, because they don't tell you like, hey, no, you can buy only this amount of quantities. In Target, I know, like in a different stores like Nike, like I used to do RA in Nike. Yeah, basically they are more strictly. But in Target, you can do this, because I get like how much? It was like 40 units on one SKU number. I mean SKU, and I get like I guess it was between 30 up to 45, 46, and they don't tell me nothing, because at the end of that, you go to the self checkout and you do it by yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. So I mean, I guess that's fantastic. So for if we think about, I guess, it's one of those things, because I think about RA and some of the people that we do it with, and this is the kind of conversation that I have, because I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier, but what I've noticed is I really didn't like RA at all. And
Mhm.
for me to substitute, what I did was I was like, hey, I'll just do it with people. Like you were just talking about Sarah. She's really good with RA, and she was the first person I went out with. And that was a great experience because we could talk. She knew stuff about the store we were going to. And, this is a really, it's a much better experience when you're doing it with someone else. And then I did it with Allah, and then I did it with that group. And then we went out, Sarah and I
Yeah.
went out last week. So it just compounds on itself. But what happens is RA, number one, is much easier when you're doing it with somebody else. And number two, what now I've experienced, when I'm in a grocery outlet, I can zoom through. If I'm by myself, I can go through the grocery outlet in 10 minutes, right? If I'm with somebody, we're probably going to spend like 30 minutes in there because they're going to scan some other stuff. But you can bang through stores quickly once you've understood what's in the store, what you're looking for. We're about to start an RA group, so the hope is there we're going to get together as a group when we can, or individually with different people. But we'll also have a follow-up call every week, like 30 minutes, just like, hey, if you're in Ollie's, look for this. If you're in Walmart, look for that. Or like, hey, here's what I found out. Like I talked to a manager and they said all of Walmarts are clearancing this TV. Like, right. So that way, when you're going to places, it's going to get much easier. And I think with what Paolo is talking about, it's the same thing. Would you say, like, after you've done this a couple of times, as it gets easier and you get different strategies?
Yes. And now I realize like another trick, like basically in grocery outlet. I don't do that because I don't have grocery outlet near to my location.
Yeah.
But when I was talking with the manager that day, I realized like, okay, but I have an idea. How about if I get her connection, if I get her message, I mean her number,
Mm-hmm.
and I ask and say, hey, could you send me all the skills that you have in your store? Because who is the person who got all the skills to replan? Is the manager. Basically, if she got that and she knows what is a product that moves faster, probably she can help you with that and say, hey, you know what? I have this product, is one of my best sellers in my store, because they know the knowledge. They have the data. So it's gonna be easy. Remember when we went to, I guess it was Ollie's or grocery outlet, and the manager, I guess it was the manager.
Oh, it was grocery outlet.
Yeah. And she said like,
and I
hey,
don't even think she was a manager. I think she was just a regular employee, but she just happened to know that people who sold at Amazon came to her store.
Yeah, and it's pretty good, because if she already knows like some people are buying, it's just basically just ask and say, hey, and what is the product that they got? And then she will tell you, say, oh, that's this product. You go scan and you will see if the product moves. It's easy for you. You can go and get it.
Right, and I that's actually, all the SKUs in the store is crazy. Now, have you done that before? Have you gotten that?
What, like asking for the SKUs?
Yeah.
No, to be honest, no.
Okay.
The reason is I only do like in Walmart, but I guess imagine if you ask, you have two options, right? You have to answer it. probably she say no, but how about if she say yes?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the rule of the game changed. So
And the only reason why I asked that is because I'm curious, like if she gave you all the SKUs, like would he or she give you the price list? Because that would be a game changer, right? So if I know something's $2.99 and I can go and look it up and say, oh, at $2.99 this is profitable, that would be nuts, right? It's almost like a
yeah,
wholesale list.
yes, and let me tell you this, because I heard in another guy, because the reason that I've been talking with different managers or employees is because I heard another guy doing the same. But this guy, I forget his name. He was in school too. He said like basically instead he goes to, because he was told he was talking with another managers, right? But he, in the conversation, he say like, hey, one day I just parking in front of the store waiting for the truck to
Mhm.
download all the products, but instead
Oh,
I go to the manager, I go to him and I say, hey, I try to make a relationship with you. I try to make a business with you. Could you help
yeah,
me? Could you give me all the list of products that you have? And guess what? He said like, yes, we can give you that. I mean, all the inventory that we have. And after that, he doesn't have to go to the manager. He only goes to the person who download that, because you make a business with him. And now your price of the products is different. Your price of your products is less. So now you're saving money. You got more products, and that's kind of the when I mean the rules of the game change.
right. And Kiki just put a comment in the chat, which is a good one. Especially, I mean, I know for Walmart, and it's even for Target too. It's just kind of a crapshoot. And sometimes, like those apps are great, right? Because they'll give you quantities, and you can go and you can check stuff in different stores without having to go there. But those quantities aren't always right. Sometimes it'll say it has stuff there, and I'm like, how does it say that? Because I actually just went there yesterday and I got all of it. But
Mhm.
if you hadn't gone there yesterday, like you don't know. And she's like, it's sometimes it doesn't show up in the app. And so if you have these connections and you just text the manager like, hey, like, do you have this? Can you look it up in your little handheld or whatever? It's a game changer. Because that's a waste of time, right? Like I know sometimes you say, like I was thinking about you going to a place like, oh, it took me a half hour to drive there. Like, well, that's
Mhm.
an hour there and back or whatever the case. And that's time you could be doing something else or just not working, right? So
Yeah.
um, I think that's really fantastic. So for me, I mean, I just really wanted to introduce people to this conversation. I don't think it's one that we need to spend a ton of time on, but I think
Mhm.
having it in your head is interesting. But also what I know is like you may be hearing this conversation, oh, that sounds good, but not necessarily get it. And
Mhm.
I was the same way because I didn't really get it until I saw him do it, because I've heard him talk about it. He's like, Omar, this is what I do, this is what I do. And I'm like, okay, until I saw him do it. And now like I'm in here trying to make these same connections myself. And I was in like 6 grocery outlets on Monday with Sarah. And I'm like, hey,
Mhm.
talking to the manager, like it was actually great because one store I went to, they had new ownership. And so I was talking to a woman who was in from Cincinnati, and she was like, hey, we got a new owner. His name is XYZ or whatever. And so, I'm sure that owner is looking to grow sales. And, if I can come in and buy some stuff, he'd be open to that. So I understand that you may not be in a position to go out and do this because you may not get it. But what I would say to you is that keep building your connections, meeting people like Paolo, meeting people maybe I guess like myself now who are doing this, and be able to see it in action, because it can change your game, especially on some of the stuff that we're trying to get. Like we were out in the grocery outlet and we had found this ASIN, and we all found it, and we were trying to buy it, but they didn't have much of it in the store.
Nice.
I think I might have been the only one that got it somehow. I don't even know, because I think Paolo might take a picture of it, but that's what happened. I think you took a picture of it and it was in a store after you had left, and there were only 2, and it sold by the time I got home, right? But it's super hard to find, like and every time I found it, there was only 1 or 2 packages of them around. And then we ended up finding like the mother load. Like we found 20 of them. So we split it, and 20, like it doesn't even sound like a lot, but the
Mhm.
package is 6 apiece. So it's actually 120, but we're selling them in packs of 6. But now, you know, what I've done is I've connected. I'm like, hey, I know this place has it. I have the manager's number. I know this place has it. I have the person who orders for grocery, right? And so now we can have those conversations. Actually, I don't even know, Paolo, did you see that video on Sunday? I went to 5 Indian grocery stores trying to find this place. And I actually found it was actually weird because those stores were like, they were not so kind to me. Like, I don't know. It was like, they looked at me like I was like nuts. I'm like, bro, do you have this? I didn't say that. I'm like, hey, you know, do you have this? And they looked at me like I was stupid. And they were like, no, I don't have it. I'm like, well, can you order it? No. And I'm like, okay, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I finally found one store that had it. And, you know, I was like, all right, well, let me just talk to the manager. But actually, I don't even know if I'm going to end it because we got the grocery outlet connection. So it probably just be easier to do it. Like, for some reason, that brand, I don't know if that red curry lentil, like it's just not everywhere, and it may not be easy to order. So I'm sticking with the grocery outlet. But yeah, so that's the type of thing. Like, when you're making these connections, having these conversations, you know, Paolo was crazy. Like, the connection was just, it was beautiful. Like, I randomly met Paolo in a group chat, like not in a group chat. It was a group sourcing that Sarah had connected me with. I didn't know these people from a can of paint, and they brought me in, and we had a 3-hour sourcing session that day. And Paolo's like this, and he's doing video games and that. And I'm like, okay. And then, you know, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be out in Maryland. Maryland's, oh, I live right there. Let's get together. And I was like, okay, sure, Paolo. And he's gonna drive up to me. It didn't work out because, like, I didn't go to one of the stores or something. And then I tried to come another day, and it's like something happened with graduation. Paolo was still like, nah, man, let's get together. I'm like, all right, Paolo, let's do it, man. And I drove down there to Virginia. It was like a 4.5-hour drive to meet Paolo because it was important, right? And it's like, I know, like, not everybody is going to drive 4.5 hours to meet somebody. I'm not saying you have to do that. But if somebody lives a half hour from you or an hour from you, you can't make that ride. Like, and even if it's not to make money, now we made money that day, right? I showed him a couple of things in a Gap, and we connected again later or whatever. So we made money that day. But, like, even if it's just to sit down and have coffee and have a conversation, like, that's something you should try and do. And you're going to make connections, and you're going to build and grow from other people's experience, and they'll grow from yours. So that's what I would say to you. But listen, Paolo, unless Kiki has any more, Kiki, if you have any questions, we can get to that. I don't know if you have anything. I know you're on mute, so let me know. I'll give you a second to hop off.
I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna add this, and again, like, it's super important, to be honest, make a relationship with workers, managers, and another sellers, because it's too important. Like, as again, I met with Omar because Sarah bring to the group. And it was good because remember the day when I went to Jersey, the first day, basically, it's already paid off my hotel, because I was with Sarah, and Sarah said, hey, let's go to Gap. We went to Gap, and I got like 30 items of that product. Like, basically, this product make you between $7 up to $12. If you do the math, it's like around 200 or 250. Like, you know what? I mean, I already got it. I already listed, and I know, like, I will sell it like in less than a week. So my hotel is already paid off. And I say, okay, that's super important, because it was my vacations, but at the same time, I mean, probably I will spend like an hour, 2 hours, but I will spend 2 hours when my hotel is already paid off. I will do it. I will do it, because at the end of that, it's like a free vacations, you know.
Absolutely. And let's listen to this man. He is really killing it right now. So, all right, Paolo, listen, as usual, man, I don't even know how many calls you did. You did the vinyl call with us. You did A to A with us. You're doing the manager call. Did you do a video game call with us?
Video game. I didn't know, like, we throw like exactly video game, but we talk about with video games.
Yeah. So yeah, like, listen, Paolo he might be the most frequent guest on these community calls. So I gotta say shout out to him. And I'm gonna get you in the OA group, and I'm gonna get you in the RA group, because, you know, we need your energy, we need your power. But listen, thank you for coming out. The recording will be up ASAP, and we'll do it again soon.
Sure.
All
Yes,
right.
anytime, Omar. Let me know. I always down for help people, because I know when I started a business, to be honest, I didn't have like too much friends or too much connections to do that. And I know how it feels, because sometimes you feel frustrated when you start, because say, oh, I don't find nothing. But the reason is because you don't have like more people or another friends or another workers like help you to build a business.
Exactly.
But whenever you're in the business, and again, now you know my numbers. I never see that number before. I've been seeing these numbers like since 2 months ago, and I've been like consistently doing that. And I say, okay, I'm in another level right now. I won't say like I'm super smart on that, but I'm going through that, and that's the way. And yeah, so just let me know if you feel. I mean, feel free to reach me out if you need like another calls. I will happy to help everybody.
Yeah, you know what? Real quick, give your socials so people can catch you.
Oh yeah, I will show you like let me give you my.
And you know what? I'll drop the socials in the notes so you guys have it. I follow you on Instagram. Is that on Instagram in X, or what is that?
Instagram, yeah.
Just Instagram.
In
Okay.
X, I gotta use more X, and again, like I used to like recording some videos and then I posting, but now I got more videos, and I gotta posted that videos again. I started doing again all my routine of videos. I was like a little bit busy for the FBM that I have, that I already told you, but now I feel
Yeah.
like I'm about to start again. Or yeah.
All right, no problem. I put your Instagram in the notes. So I'll share that actually. Oh, all right. So it's just all right. Now I'll add school in here too. And then yeah, so people can check you out, and I'll be sure to include these on the post when I put the replay up. All right. Okay, perfect, man. So I'll check in with you later on text, and we'll catch up, and we'll do this again soon. All right,
Sure.
everybody. Have a great night. Catch you guys later.
All right. Have a good night, guys.